What is up, everybody? This is Keith Jameson. I go back, get a guy to 31 across the DFS industry, and so pumped for college football to be back. It was a fantastic season last year. Thank you all for finding us and coming back for another season. This is just going to be a quick breakdown. It's only a 3-game slate. I think there's going to be a lot of overlap on the positions outside of wide receiver. So I don't think I'm going to be giving you any super hot takes. I'll mention a few wide receiver plays, but I think that position will really decide this slate. So let's just jump right into it. But just a quick reminder to like, subscribe, and comment. And then once I get through the DFS plays, I'm also going to be going over a PrizePicks play. If you have not signed up for PrizePicks, this is a fantastic time to do so. Use promo code FSI to get a free $100 for your first deposit of $100 or more. Great way to follow along with the games. You pick a prop, over, under, and you go from there. All right, let's get into the games, and you'll see some overlap between the DFS plays and the PrizePick plays. So first off, on the right, you'll see my first 3 guys in the core play that I'm giving out for free. We have Adrian Martinez, Ronnie Rivers, and Britton Brown. I will get to them in a minute. Actually, we'll go right to Adrian Martinez, who I think is the biggest misprice on the slate in college football. What we want to do first and foremost, or at least I want to do first and foremost always, is find a quarterback with rushing upside that's also going to throw the ball a decent amount. And that is exactly what we with Adrian Martinez at a bargain price of $6,800. Once he officially took over the job last year, you can see the last 4, more than 20 passes each game, and the rushing attempts were through the roof. 12, 13, 15, and 23. Keep in mind, rushing attempts are a little bit skewed for quarterbacks because if you get sacked, they count as a rushing attempt and you lose yards. But Adrian Martinez is very much known for his legs more than his arm. We can see in the final game versus Rutgers, 23 for 157. The game before versus Minnesota, 15 for 96. I think that this is a fairly soft matchup versus Illinois. The interesting thing with Nebraska is it's kind of a running back by committee. But the one running back that we know that will be on the field is Adrian Martinez. I think he's going to have a big day through the air and through on the ground. And I'll just say this. I said through the air. He has a lot of new wide receivers too. No Wan'Dale Robinson, which is his top target at the end of the year last year. So when you do have new receivers, I do think that potentially is going to put more emphasis on him scrambling as well. So 6,800, I love the pick. I think most people will go to Thompson Robinson from here at 8,500. Big favorite versus Hawaii at home. He also runs as well. Jake Hayner, really talented guy as well, but for 1,200 more, less rushing upside. I prefer DTR. And then Cordero, probably the only other guy that you would be consider 7,500. He also has a little bit of rushing upside too. But again, I think most people are going to go Martinez, Thompson, Robinson. All right, at running back, Turner is a jack of all trades for Hawaii, does some return, is on the field a ton, doesn't necessarily always carry the ball. It's kind of a gadget player with catching a lot out of the slot or little like bubble screens. So he's fine, hugely explosive, as you can see by his average. Charbonnet, the Michigan transfer, he's going to take a little bit for Ronnie Rivers, but I just skipped over the highlight. Ronnie Rivers is one of the top plays on the slate as well. He struggled with injuries last year, but he was considered one of the best running backs in the Mountain West. Hope I got the conference right. I just blanked on it for a second. But anyhow, he had a chance to go to the NFL, decided not to. UConn took last season off. They are not a very good team. Fresno State should get on them early and often. I think Ronnie Rivers at 7,800 has a really good chance at 100-plus yards, 2 touchdowns, and just will be huge on this slate, so do not fade him. Britton Brown is my other pick. Britton Brown was fantastic to end the season last year, as you can see, versus Stanford, 29 for 219. He now gets a chance to be the main guy. Now, he is going to split time with Charbonnet. Do not get tilted when you see Britton Brown 2 carries, then Charbonnet 1. But, UCLA under Chip Kelly does want to run the ball a ton. They established their play action and their passing game by running the ball first. So I think Britton Brown should be in for a big line, especially because Hawaii was terrible against the run last year. So I would expect that UCLA is going to pound the rock the entire game. At running back, Nebraska will be interesting. It's supposed to be by committee, so I think I'm staying away from that. The only other guy that I really have on my radar that, should be a majority of the carries is Mensah from Connecticut, but, you just got to worry about if that is a situation you want to target. All right, wide receiver. I'm not going to spend too much time on here because there's just a lot of unknowns. Cropper will be super popular. Phillips, super popular. I think those are the top two guys that people will go to. Interesting from Fresno State. Let me get the name right. Josh Kelly actually beat out Zane Pope. So if you're going to go, if you want a cheap option, I really like Josh Kelly down here at 4,400. Everybody else, I think their logs kind of said the whole thing. I can't say the name. Dulcich, I think that's how you say it, is a potential first round pick from UCLA as a tight end. Really, really talented guy. Wheatfall, really talented for Fresno State. Ross, I've read from UConn, is a speed burner down the field. You've got a lot of options. I would just say here, just see what you have left. Look at your depth charts and, choose a guy that, potentially is starting, or maybe that you can find some blurbs from that you like. But, those were a few names that I like. All right, last thing, Superflex and just a strategy thing. For me, outside of like a random GPP lineup, for a cash or optimal, always two quarterbacks. So Martinez, then pick, Hayner or DTR for your Superflex, and you'll be off and running. All right, let's jump over to PrizePicks and then get the heck out of here and on to watching all football and all the sports that we have. All right. Sorry, I just realized I had not logged in already. That is a shame. Give me 2 seconds. All right, now we're getting there. Okay, college. 2 props that popped up right away are rushing stats. Adrian Martinez, like I said, Nebraska has a running back by committee going on. Adrian Martinez has a ton of new receiving weapons, so I think that's going to put a lot of emphasis on his rushing upside. We saw in the final 2 games of last season, Adrian Martinez had 23 for 157 and 15 for 96. So I think at 60.5, that is a really, really strong. Is a fair number, but I think in this game and given the time of the season, I really like the over. And the other one is Ronnie Rivers. Ooh, he went up. I got him earlier today at a lot less. Let's see. I think 87.5 is decent, but I mean earlier today he was like 75 before I taped here. So let's take a look at some other ones on here. Apologies, I thought I was all done. DTR, I think 52.5 makes a lot of sense, especially versus Hawaii, who struggles versus the run. Let's see if there's any passing props. DTR, I think at 235 is pretty decent too. There's Cropper and Wheatfall, should both be in for a big game. I'm probably staying away from these receivers. Let's see if there's where the rushing TDs are. I really like Ronnie Rivers over 1. I think that's going to be my other play here. So here's the thing on PrizePicks. If all of a sudden, if Ronnie Rivers only gets 1 touchdown, then we push. Okay. So it just becomes Adrian Martinez over 60.5. If not, we 3X. I think 1 touchdown is the floor at home for him in his final season. So we're going to go over Ronnie Rivers 1 touchdown, over Adrian Martinez 60.5. You can do whatever you want in terms of the amount. Really cool on PrizePicks because you get 3X. So, in a lot of ways, you have to get 1 out of 3 plays, right? And you push. And if you get 1 out of 2 rates, if you get a 50% success rate, then you're off and running. And watch the multipliers down here at the bottom. Let's say that I'm not saying do Chase Brown, but just to add Chase Brown over now. And don't do a flex play, do power play. You say I'm going to get all 3 right. That's 5 extra winning. So PrizePicks, awesome site. Check it out. But my official play is Ronnie Rivers over 1 touchdown, Adrian Martinez over 60.5. Lock and load. Good luck, guys. Thank you again for watching. If you are interested in chat plus core plays for every slate on DraftKings, we're going to take this year off on FanDuel. Just there's too much overlap on the slates and different games FanDuel posted versus DraftKings. So I'm just going to be doing DraftKings this year. but check us out in the link below. Subscribe for plans as low as I think it's $10 a week for every single slate, showdown, and classic. Thank you all for watching. With that, I'll say, see you.